I just want to give you this warning. They're about to take you on a tour through this home, and it is very, very uncomfortable, but you will learn a lot about this Jesse McFadden and what he may have done before killing those kids and his wife. Take a look.
The phone or phone case with the screen ghost face on the back.
Okay. I don't know.
There's a phone.
I don't know them, but I don't care about the phone.
Yeah, those are Tiffany skates.
Tiffany's bad print is the cow print.
And the cow slippers over here. Bells. Inner witch. Oh my God. What? On the floor over there.
This is a huge. See this? Get the fuck up right here. Is this not it?
This is the room.
Do you remember when they said that they were making Riley sleep on their bedroom floor? Where was she sleeping at? There is no room on that floor. And then here, come over here and you know, I want to.
Give me something to grab.
Take a picture. Take pictures.
It's on video.
That's them. Hey, that's them.
Okay.
Use this sack. Don't be locked there.
No, those
No,
locks.
that's evidence too.
So is those
We
drugs.
just bought those. That's
that
it.
hers?
Yep. Okay. Hold on.
Call the sheriff.
Yep.
Don't touch them. Don't move them.
Let's back out.
That's good.
Okay. I'm
the
calling.
chief.
I'm calling.
Smokey.
Are you done looking?
No.
No. I'm not done looking, but that's evidence.
Okay.
He used our daughter's cell phone.
And whatever's behind that.
Yep. Okay.
And they're not concerned about looking anywhere else.
Obviously.
This house needs to be stripped. Oh my God. Okay. Do me a favor.
Guys come in, so don't touch anything.
No, that's what I was telling you.
But we touched everything today because we had permission from the sheriff.
But we didn't touch the phones.
But I was not in the state when this happened, so. Let's go.
So we're getting pictures of all this, honey. This man was a freaking monster. And his wife was too.
This one's my daughter's. I want to know what else is up here and in here. I think there's more. There's computers.
Some of these tablets.
You know.
Well, did you notice the ring?
The ring?
See that ring? The wedding ring right there?
Oh, I thought you were saying camera. God, that would have been great.
Is this on video?
Yeah, I'm just getting all the stuff up there.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say too much of it on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's a big old machine, too.
but it's a weapon, so
And it's in
should've
here
been
with all
taken.
this sexual paraphernalia.
And then those were right there. They obviously didn't look too hard.
No.
Look, is that another phone or what is that? Look, hey, that one's still on. That computer, whatever that tablet thing you know.
It's on.
And not only that,
A syringe
Needles.
and needles.
Hey.
Oh my.
that's cocaine marks. It's gotta be.
So look.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
I don't know, babe. Fuck. I don't know. Man. Fuck. Call 911. Did they call? I don't want him to go down there. I have no idea. I don't know.
I heard some stuff. I'm in the front, so I heard the.
Yeah. I don't want him to go down there. Somebody hung himself? Yeah, they just said it right now. They yelled, she's hanging. Somebody hung themselves. Yeah, they just yelled it right now. The girls. Should somebody help?
Oh my God, I didn't know.
Oh my God, I don't want anybody to see that. Fuck. Oh my God. Fuck.
Breaking news, a jury just reached a verdict in the Letitia Stalk murder trial. On January 27, 2020, Letitia reported her 11-year-old stepson Gannon missing. Gannon's father had been deployed by the National Guard the day prior. Letitia claimed that Gannon left the house to visit a friend down the street, but she couldn't provide names of those friends. Investigators interviewed Letitia several times because she was the last person to see Gannon alive, and each time her story changed drastically. One time she claimed that she was R-worded and that man had abducted Gannon. Another story was that Gannon had crashed his bike and then that man abducted him. Hundreds of volunteers searched for Gannon in Colorado Springs, and 2 weeks after he vanished, particle board with Gannon's blood was found in a rural area nearby. Over the course of a month, Letitia's behavior became even more strange. She obtained a rental car, disconnected her phone, and left the state of Colorado. Investigators then conducted a more thorough search of Gannon's home, and this is a quote from Letitia's arrest warrant. Physical evidence recovered from the residence and inside Gannon's bedroom supports that a violent event occurred in his bedroom, which caused bloodshed, including blood splatter on the walls and enough blood loss to stain the mattress, soak through the carpet pad, and stain the concrete below his bed. Police learned that on the Monday Gannon went missing, he had stayed home from school. Letitia told the school that Gannon was ill. She also lied to her employer so that she could stay home as well. She told her boss that her stepfather had been fatally struck by a car, so she couldn't go into work that day. Letitia also sent her daughter to pick up carpet cleaner, trash bags, and baking soda, which she used to clean up the crime scene. Letitia searched for jobs in other states and apartments in Florida, both before and after Gannon went missing. These are some of her Google searches during that time, which included, "I'm overdoing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help," and "Find me a rich guy who wants me to take care of his kids," as well as "My son burned the carpet, how do I fix it?" She also searched, "One day some people will wish they treated you differently." Based on all this information and more, police believe that Letitia murdered her stepson Gannon and hid his remains hoping they would never be recovered. On March 2nd, 2020, Letitia was arrested in South Carolina. She was charged with murder in the first degree of a child under 12, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. And while she was being transported back to Colorado, she ended up getting out of her restraints and assaulting a deputy. She also apparently tried to grab one of their guns. 2 weeks later, on March 17th, a man was doing a routine bridge inspection in Pensacola, Florida. Below the bridge, he found a heavy suitcase. He opened it and noticed a strong smell and then saw, quote, 2 little feet with football socks. DNA testing confirmed it was the body of 11-year-old Gannon Stalk. Gannon had suffered 18 sharp force injuries, 4 blunt force injuries, and 1 bullet wound. Hydrocodone was found in his system. Records show that Letitia rented a van and stayed just 3 miles away from where Gannon's body was found. Letitia has been on trial for the past 5 weeks. She's pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Her defense claims that she had a psychotic break and this resulted in Gannon's murder, while prosecutors argued that Letitia's brutal attack stemmed from her hatred of Gannon. After 7 hours of deliberation, a jury found her guilty on all charges. Some breaking news with Uvalde. This is the last day the parents of the victims are trying to get legislators to pass the gun reform bill in hopes that they would listen. But most of the time, we know it's just my thoughts and my prayers.
Last night I was in my hotel room trying to come up with the right words to address Chairman Guillen, urging him to bring House Bill 2744 to vote. I was angry. It's an emotion that's pretty common as we approach the 1-year mark. Like the days of numbness, I really appreciate the relief from the days of overwhelming sadness. But this morning I didn't wake up angry. This morning I woke up at the Uvalde Junior High School. We were waiting to pick up David from basketball practice. I'm on the phone with Hart, and Felix says, I'm gonna take the kids to go practice on the outdoor courts. I watch him walk off. Something looks different. I can't really put my finger on it. Continue my conversation, and then I walk toward them. And that's when I see her. I drop everything and I run. Hold her so tight it should hurt. She's like damp with sweat, and I'm inhaling the scent of her hair like it's oxygen I'm deprived of. And I'm sobbing. The tears are what woke me up. And I share this with you to say that I'm so sorry I'm not strong today. Maybe that's what y'all need to see. Because at the end of every day, I'm just a mom who wants my daughter back. And a mom who doesn't want another mom to know my pain.
Breaking news. A woman who wrote a children's book about grief after losing her husband and dedicating the book to him is now being charged with murdering him.
I was 39. It completely took us all by shock.
But now a bombshell new chapter. She's accused of murdering him. Kuri Richins told authorities she found her 39-year-old husband Eric cold to the touch on the floor in their bedroom. The newly widowed mom posted this tribute video to her husband on Facebook. Life is just so damn hard without you here, she writes. Then she published this book teaching kids how to deal with grief. She titled it, Are You With Me? It features an image of her smiling husband in the clouds with angel wings and a halo. It's dedicated to my amazing husband and a wonderful father.
Dad is still here, it's just in a different way.
33-year-old Richins was interviewed about her book by KTVX in Salt Lake City.
My kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes that we've experienced.
Her book gets 5-star reviews on Amazon. Very well written and from the heart. Thank you, Kuri, for writing a book that helps young minds understand that spirits of our loved ones are around us always. But in a stunning development, Kuri Richins was just arrested in her husband's death. Authorities say they found 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his body. She allegedly asked an acquaintance for pills so strong she called it the Michael Jackson stuff. Court documents say 3 weeks before he died, Eric Richins had gotten very ill after a Valentine's Day dinner with his wife. Eric told a friend that he thought his wife was trying to poison him, the documents say.
He was 39. It completely took us all by shock.
There are new disturbing details about the Texas shooter. He identified as an incel, a young man who considers himself unable to attract women. I don't care about getting a girlfriend anymore because I don't believe women are capable to genuinely love a man. He also posted this photo with a waitress. The caption reads, How to Drive a Guy Crazy. Eric Toller is a researcher with the investigative reporting website Bellingcat. He says the shooter posted his disturbing profile on a Russian social network. As an incel, it appeared that he had vitriol or anger specifically toward women. One of his posts, you can tell he definitely was hurt better. The shooter also posted shirtless photos with white power tattoos, including Nazi SS lightning bolts and a swastika. He also shared a photo of the Allen Outlet Mall and indicated he was tracking its busiest time, Saturday, the same day he opened fire. But he did post on this very obscure, to an American audience, very obscure Russian social media site where no one else is reading. There's no content moderation, so it's basically hidden from the internet for all eyes who would care about this. Meantime, America is embracing the lone survivor of the Cho family. The 6-year-old boy's parents and younger brother were all killed in the mass shooting. A GoFundMe has topped $1.4 million. A GoFundMe has also been set up for the mom and dad who lost their 2 precious daughters who loved dressing like twins. The Mendoza family asks, "Please pray for our now broken family," as the mom remains hospitalized with gunshot wounds.
On the 26th of June 2016, disaster struck at M&D's Scotland theme park when a ride known as the Tsunami roller coaster derailed 30 feet in the air and was sent plummeting to the ground. The incident sent shockwaves throughout Scotland and was described as being worse than a horror movie. Sadness soon turned to anger once the investigation found the horrific incident was completely avoidable. This is the story of the infamous Tsunami roller coaster disaster. M&D's Scotland theme park opened in Motherwell, Scotland in 1996 and quickly became Scotland's biggest and most popular park. The park overlooks Strathclyde Loch and is a stone's throw from Glasgow. Compared to many popular theme parks within Europe and America, M&D's Scotland theme park is small but isn't particularly expensive and is a fun day out. At the time, the park had over 35 attractions, one of these rides being the Tsunami roller coaster. The Tsunami was a steel inverted coaster. The ride had 3 trains, each train could fit 10 people on, in rows of 2. The ride had 2 inversions and had a duration of 1 minute and 5 seconds. Leading up to that fateful day, the theme park had a history of incidents. The first incident came in 2009 when high winds caused the safety mechanisms of the Tornado roller coaster to kick in, leaving 6 people stranded in the air whilst ride operators corrected the system. The next came in 2011 on the Tsunami ride. After experiencing a mechanical fault, the ride became stuck. The ride remained stuck for 8 hours and the passengers had to be rescued. Over the next few years, the park was accused of inadequately maintaining their rides. This became evident in 2013 when a woman known as Kirsten Sweeney nearly lost her leg on the log flume. Whilst on the log flume, her boat capsized, which left her leg trapped between the splashback guard and the barrier. This left her stuck screaming for help, but she was saved 10 minutes later by horrified onlookers. After the incident, she claimed that the park tried to blame her and completely swept it under the rug. She maintains to this day that the park should be shut down. 2 years after that, 3 more people were injured on the same ride. This leads us to the 26th of June 2016. It was a hot summer's day, which saw parents and their children flock to the park for a fun day out. At approximately 3:30 in the afternoon, the people boarded the Tsunami roller coaster. Most of these were children. Halfway round, after the ride was coming off of a bend, out of nowhere, a series of 5 gondolas connected to the train suddenly derailed from the track. The train, which was travelling at 40 miles per hour, then hit the side structure of the roller coaster and plummeted 20 feet to the ground. One witness stated, "I just turned around and you seen it like, not in slow motion, but in fast motion. It just plunged to the ground, and you heard the crash, you heard the screaming and the fear of the people." The cars fell onto a nearby children's ride for toddlers. As you can imagine, the scene was pure chaos. The people on the ride landed upside down and were trapped. Horrified onlookers ran to the scene, and at this point it was unclear if any toddlers were crushed underneath. Parent to 3-year-old Dylan Thomas watched as the roller coaster fell right next to his son. Luckily, he was 3 inches away from where the ride fell and escaped unscathed. Fathers and mothers ran towards the roller coaster and tried to tip the carriage over to get access to the kids trapped, but were unable to do so. Emergency services were called, and within minutes, 6 ambulances and 6 fire engines were on the scene. One witness said, "When the reality of the situation struck everyone, there were kids in floods of tears, and adults desperately trying to find their loved ones amid the chaos. It took up to an hour to get everyone out, and 11 injured were all transported to hospital. Out of the injured, 9 were children and 2 were adults. They were ages 11 to 20. One witness stated, "It will be a miracle if there are no fatalities." The ride and park was shut down, and an investigation into the incident was launched. In a remarkable turn of events, no lives were lost, but the victims' lives were still changed forever. One boy, Ben Chalmers, who was 14 years old, sustained horrific injuries that nearly killed him, including bleeding to his chest cavity and a collapsed lung. 20-year-old William Murray was traumatized after being flung 40 foot and dislocating his knee. His father said when he saw a picture of the scene, he just broke down. I also wanted to highlight Liam Boyle's story. Liam had been at the park with friends, celebrating the school year coming to an end. When the ride crashed, Liam's hand was severely injured. One of the witnesses who helped him said, "The little boy was one of the bravest boys I've ever met. Considering his injury, he was constantly asking about his friend who was in the seat above him. He was more worried about him. Thankfully, after 8 hours of surgery, Liam's hand was saved and he made a full recovery." Following a 15 months investigation, the Health and Safety Executive completed his probe into the incident in September of 2017. The investigation found that the park had failed to maintain the roller coaster properly. The train derailed because the welding done on the axle suspension was inadequate. In short, the metal used was not the right one. The executive said, "We found 9 out of the 10 axles on the Tsunami had been given this weld overlay repair, and in the end, 6 of them detached from the ride, causing it to crash to the ground." M&Ds pleaded guilty to health and safety breaches and were fined £65,000. Understandably, the victims' parents were outraged with this, one saying, "For a company bragging a turnover of £8 million to be fined £65,000 is disappointing. Seeing what my son went through initially, and for months and years after, I am bitterly disappointed." A ride inspector who passed the ride as safe 16 days before was suspended, but avoided a prison sentence. He was instead ordered to carry out 160 hours of community service. In better news, the victims successfully sued the park and were rewarded £1.2 million in damages. David Nelaney, who represented the victims, said, "Firstly, I'd like to recognise the bravery shown by all of our clients, some of whom are children, whose lives have been permanently and irreversibly affected. As is now known, the accident would have never happened had the Tsunami roller coaster been properly inspected and maintained by M&D's theme park. Although M&D's remains open, the Tsunami roller coaster never reopened and was eventually dismantled by the park 8 months after the incident. Thankfully, all the victims are now living normal and happy lives, which is the only good takeaway from this story. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It really helps the channel, and if you haven't, make sure to subscribe. Thank you.
Safe to say my bright future was named dead. And with the devil wanna whisper to me, I just say less. Worked hard, I got a little bit of clout. Safe to say now they impressed. Free roam through this whole game without a GPS or a map. They say what I do's easy, but don't do it. There's no ignoring that. What I put together, I thread the needle, it's so intact. People in my hometown wonder, hey, where Joey at?